Hey everyone, I'm Bradford with the Penny Pincher's Guide to Personal Finance. Today, let's break down the mid-level Hilton branded card offered by American Express, the AMEX Hilton Honors Surpass card. This card does come with a $95 annual fee, and interestingly enough, compared to some of the other Amex cards that do have an annual fee, this one doesn't come with any statement credits that you can use to offset that in your favor. But even though it doesn't come with any credits that you can use, it still comes with a lot of perks and benefits that can easily be worth several $100s if you use them right. Starting off with the spending category multipliers, which all come in the form of Hilton Honors points. According to the points guy, each Hilton Honors point is worth approximately 0.6 cents per point, which I think is helpful when you're trying to understand how much those spending category multipliers actually equate to in terms of a cashback valuation. Now, understandably, the highest points multiplier that you're going to get is whenever you spend your money on a Hilton property or resort, which is going to earn you 12 points per dollar spent. Now, the next three highest categories offered by this card are going to come in the form of gas, groceries, and dining out, all of which are going to earn you 6 points per dollar spent. Now, for all other spending categories, you're only going to earn 3 points per dollar spent, and I think it's worth noting that this is the same valuation that both the no annual fee Hilton Honors card and the $450 annual fee Aspire card, this is the same valuation that they use for other spending. So I definitely wouldn't use this or any of the other Hilton branded cards for the other spending categories because it only equates to roughly a 1.5% cashback valuation. And there are quite a few just straight cashback cards that are going to give you 2% cashback off the bat, and you don't have to worry about any sort of transfers. And the benefit is that it is straight cashback. Now, aside from the spending category multipliers, you're also going to get instant Hilton Honors Gold status, which I think is by far the most valuable benefit that the Surpass card has. Now, this is going to be the second elite level in terms of loyalty programs that Hilton offers, and normally you would have to spend 28 nights or 14 separate stays with Hilton to be able to get this benefit. So we're getting it instantly for just a $95 annual fee. It goes a long way in giving you value with this credit card. Now, with any loyalty program, whenever you have a higher tier status, you're going to receive all of the benefits from the previous tiers. So in this instance, once you have gold status, that means you receive all the benefits that a silver status member has. And I think the most noteworthy benefit out of the silver status benefits is that you're going to have access to the multiplier whenever you book a stay with all points. So every 5 nights that you stay, when you book with all points, you're going to receive that 5th night free. And this is valid up to a 20-night stay, where you would receive the 5th, 10th, 15th, and 20 nights completely free. Now, putting this in perspective, say you found a hotel that normally costs 30,000 points a night, and you decided to book with all points for a 5-night stay. Instead of spending 150,000 points for your stay, you're only going to spend 120,000 points, which is a great way to instantly increase your value per point by 25%. Now, for the additional benefits that you're going to receive for having that gold loyalty status, the first one is that you're going to receive an 80% points bonus for every time you stay at a hotel. So normally, if you didn't have any sort of elite level status, you're going to receive 10 points per dollar spent at a Hilton property or resort. Now, once you have gold status, you're actually going to receive 18 points per dollar spent. And the great thing about this one is that this bonus is actually going to stack with the base level bonus that you get by using your Surpass card at a Hilton property. So you're going to have the 18 and the 12, bringing your total points per dollar spent when you use the Surpass card to 30 points per dollar spent, which is going to go a long way towards racking up those points much, much faster. Now, when you stay at a Hilton property at the lower and mid-tier levels, talking about like a True and Hampton Inn, Homewood Suites, or an Embassy Suites, all of those places, all of those brands are going to have breakfast included. But when you start staying at DoubleTrees, Waldorf Astorias, anything that's part of the Curio collection, all of those would normally require you to pay if you want to have breakfast at the hotel. But starting out with the gold level of status, you're going to receive a complimentary breakfast or dining credit whenever you stay at the hotel, which is normally going to be $15 or $18 per person. And I say per person because this is going to apply for you and up to one other guest who's staying with you when you stay at a hotel. And normally, from my experience, this is enough money to actually cover your entire breakfast, so long as you're not getting a bunch of additional add-ons or any specialty drinks that cost extra. And then one of the potentially strongest benefits you can have access to once you are a gold status member or above is that of space available room upgrades. Now, with gold status, this normally means is that you'll get access to a room that has a better view that you would normally have to pay extra for. But with this benefit, up to 72 hours before your stay, you'll receive a notification through the Hilton Honors app if there are any of those rooms available. Now, this can easily be worth several $100s per night if you're lucky enough to get access to it. Now, a quick caveat here, in my personal experience, even as a diamond status member, I've never actually had a space available room upgrade offered to me. But on the other hand, there are people that have had rooms that are worth in excess of $1,000 a night extra, upgraded completely for free because of their status. So your mileage will vary, but this is potentially a very valuable benefit that comes with the gold status because of having the Surpass card. And with the benefits from having gold status out of the way, another benefit given to you with having the Surpass card is that you're going to get access to the Priority Pass Select card, which is going to give you access to up to 10 complimentary visits to the lounges that participate in the Priority Pass program each calendar year. Now, normally if you wanted to stay at a lounge while you're traveling in an airport or a really long layover, this is normally going to set you back around $50 on average. But I definitely wouldn't put that actual valuation on what the value of this benefit is. Now, how I view this is normally if I'm just traveling, I'm not going to spend $50 to get into a lounge if I don't have a credit card that gives me instant access or some sort of statement credit on a card that is going to cover it for me. But I do know that when I'm traveling, I would normally have to spend around $15 to $20 anyway, even if I'm not in a lounge, because that's what I'm going to be spending on food while I'm traveling. So I think the biggest benefit of the access to these lounges is the complimentary food and drink that come with it. So I'm going to place a minimum valuation on this of $20 per visit to a lounge, which means if you just use it 5 times a year, you've already recouped the annual fee for the Surpass card. Now, there are 2 additional benefits that are on this card that are tied to a minimum spending requirement. The first one is going to kick in every time you spend an additional $15,000 on this card, and you'll earn a weekend night certificate, which can be redeemed for any standard night reward room on a Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. Now, depending on where you stay and when you stay, this could easily be worth in excess of $1,000 a night in your favor. Now, if you're interested in how to maximize the benefits of the weekend night rewards, I have them in a video here as well as in the description down below. And then the second benefit tied to minimum spending requirement is basically worthless, and I don't even understand why it's on the card. So once you spend $40,000 in a calendar year with your Surpass card, you will be automatically upgraded to Hilton Honors Diamond status. Now, the reason I say this is worthless and tying it back to the base level Hilton Honors card, which has a similar benefit for an automatic upgrade to a gold card, I think both of these benefits are worthless. The reason why is because the main reason to have a branded card is to maximize your benefits when you are spending at that brand. Now, to get access to Diamond status, you would normally just have to spend, based on $200 a night, you would spend $8,400 total in a given year, which would give you 42 nights in a calendar year, which would give you that upgrade to Diamond status. Now, if you're spending tens of thousands of dollars anyway on Hilton properties, you're going to be much better off using the Aspire card to maximize those benefits back. On the other hand, if you're spending tens of thousands of dollars on the Surpass card, not on Hilton properties, you're losing out on a lot of valuation where you would be better off using tailor-made credit cards for the specific spending categories you're spending the most money on. So yes, while this benefit does exist and you could take advantage of it, I would rather this benefit just be wiped out because there's much better ways to spend your money to get the valuation that you want. And then the final benefit that I want to mention isn't something that's recurring, and that's just the standard introductory bonus for this credit card. While I don't think the intro bonus is reason enough to open a card in and of itself, unless you're into churning, it can definitely make the deal a little bit sweeter. So as of right now, when I'm shooting this video, is once you spend $2,000 in the first 3 months of opening the card, you'll receive 130,000 Hilton Honors points. Now with the standard evaluation, according to the points guy, this is going to come out to $780 at a minimum. And you can definitely stretch this a lot further if you use some of the strategies like booking at certain times of the year when rooms aren't as in demand, as well as making sure you're taking advantage of that 5th night free when you book with all points. But with all those benefits in mind, who is this card best suited for? So I think this card with a $95 annual fee can easily be recouped and be made worth it for somebody that travels several times a year, probably at least once a quarter, and likes the Hilton brand. So with the Priority Pass access, they're going to have a lot more comfortable time when they're traveling through airports, especially with those longer layovers, and they'll be able to recoup the annual fee just there in terms of food and beverages that they would have had to pay for anyway. And then the instant Hilton Honors Gold status is where this card really gets its benefit from because of the free breakfasts at all of your stays, as well as the opportunity to have those space available upgrades, which as I mentioned earlier, can be worth several $100s a night in your favor. And you're just going to rack up points significantly faster with the Surpass's base multiplier that it gives you when you spend on Hilton properties, as well as the stacked benefit that comes from the gold status. And I think more importantly, who is this card not for? If you don't travel much, maybe only once or twice a year, you're not flying a lot, and you're not really staying at higher end Hilton properties, you're not gonna get much value from this, and you probably won't even recoup the annual fee because you're probably staying someplace that's gonna give you breakfast anyway, and if you're not flying a lot, you're not even gonna be able to use the Priority Pass access that it comes with. And in that case, even if you do really like the Hilton brand, you're gonna be much better off getting the no annual fee base level AMEX Hilton Honors card, which I've done a review of right here. Now on the other side of the spectrum, if you spend a ton of time traveling, whether for work or pleasure, you're probably gonna get a lot more benefits out of the AMEX Aspire card, which will stretch your dollar and your points a lot further. I wanna thank you for watching today, and please remember, from your first penny to your first million, we're here to help.